In last lecture, we have studied about the force acting on current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, which factors affects the field and the Fleming's left-hand rule. We have studied in the last lecture. Today's our point is electric motor. What is meant by the electric motor? What is its construction and how it works? We have to learn today. You know various forms of energy. We know that the energy has different forms and one form of energy gets converted into another form. This is the energy rule. You also know that energy can change its form. A device changing electric energy into mechanical energy is known as the electric motor. Now we are studying the construction and working of electric motor. Before it, we have to learn what is meant by the electric motor. Electric motor is an instrument or a device which can change electric energy into mechanical energy. This device is known as the electric motor. Around us in our day-to-day life, we use this electric motor in various devices. It is used in fans, refrigerators, mixers, washing machines, and computers and pumps. But how does it work? We have to learn it in this chapter how electric motor works. In diagram 4.13, you see the electric circuit diagram of the electric motor and how it's working done. The electric motor consists of a rectangular loop of copper wire having a resistive coating. You can see it. Rectangular loop of copper wire shown by the A, B, C, D. This is the rectangular loop of copper wire have the resistive coating. As shown in the figure, it is placed between the north pole and south pole of a magnet. It is a horseshoe magnet. You can see its north pole shown by the N, its south pole shown by the S in the diagram. These are the two poles of the horseshoe magnet, and in between these two poles there is a rectangular copper wire is placed in such a way that its branches A, B and C, D are perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. The branch AB of the rectangular uh, copper wire is, and the CD is the next branch, which are perpendicular to the magnetic field produced in this circuit. The two ends of the loop are connected to the two halves X and Y of the split ring. You can see the split ring on the middle part that is shown by the X and Y. Split means they are broken down into two pieces. They are semi-circular arcs and they are shown by the X and Y. The copper wire loop ends are connected to these semicircular loops or ring. The two halves of the ring have resistive coating on their inner surfaces and are tightly fitted on the axle. Middle part is the axle, and the part which is in contact with the axle of the ring is coated with the resistive coating, and it is tightly fitted to the axle. The two halves of the split ring X and Y have their outer conducting surfaces in contact with the two stationary carbon brushes respectively. The outer conducting surface of the split rings is in contact with the two stationary carbon brushes shown by the E and F respectively. When the circuit is completed as shown in the figure, the current flows in the branch AB of the loop from A to B through the carbon brushes E and F. When the whole instrument is connected to the electrical circuit as shown in the figure, and when current starts to flow into the circuit, the branch AB of the loop, the current flows from A to B and from the carbon brushes E and F. Since the direction of magnetic field is from north to south pole, according to the Fleming's left-hand rule, the force is exerted on the branch AB and pushes it down. Direction of the current is in upward direction. At that time, the direction of the force is in the downward direction. The current in the CD branch is in opposite direction, that is to that of the AB branch. Therefore, the force is exerted on the branch in upward direction. In CD, the direction of current is in downward direction. Therefore, direction of force is in the upward direction. Thus, the loop and the axle start rotating in an anti-clockwise direction. And after half rotation, the two halves of the split ring X and Y come in contact with carbon brushes F and E. There is a split ring. There are semicircular arcs. Therefore, after half rotation, they again come in contact with the brushes F and E respectively, and the current in a loop starts flowing in the direction DCBA. Now the brushes are changed. Semicircular arcs and their brushes these pairs are changed, therefore direction also changes and current flows from DCBA in this path. Therefore, the force is exerted on the branch DC in downward direction and AB in upward direction. Therefore, the loop continues to rotate in the anticlockwise direction, and thus the current in the loop is reversed after each of the half rotation, and the loop and the axle continue to rotate in the anticlockwise direction. This process happens again and again, and working of the electric motor done. Commercial motors run on the same principle. Commercial motors are the motors which are used on the large scale businesses. They runs on this same principle, but the practical changes are made in their construction. Here we have studied about the construction and working of the electric motor and how it is used on the commercial scale. Our next point is electromagnetic induction. What is meant by the electromagnetic induction? We have to learn here. In the previous standard or previous section, we learned that if we keep an electric conductor in a magnetic field such that the direction of the current flowing through the conductor is perpendicular to the magnetic field, then the force is exerted on the conductor. Means current direction is perpendicular to the magnetic field, then the force exerted is acted on the conductor. Because of this, the conductor moves. But if an electric conductor is moving in a magnetic field, or the magnetic field around the stationary conductor is changing, what will happen? Means here stationary objects are changed, they are in moving condition, then what will be the happen? For its answer, the great scientist Michael Faraday shows his investigation in year 1831. Faraday showed that an electric current can be produced in a conductor with the help of moving magnet. Means if there is a magnet is moving, it is not stationary, it also produces an electric current can produces in a conductor with the help of the moving magnet. Here we have studied about these 2 points, that is the construction and working of electric motor and electromagnetic induction. You have to read the 2 points from your textbook, and today's homework for you is to solve question number 2. Explain the construction and working of the following. Draw a neat label diagram and label it. You have to write today. You have to write only construction working of the electric motor and also draw a neat label diagram of it and read the points I have taught today. Here we will stop. Thank you.